The problems are huge. The system of governance in the countries of the world cannot solve these huge problems because the goals of the world's politicians are still the same as in the age of agriculture, and they still behave in the same way. The goals and behavior of the world's bureaucrats are still consistent with the method of the industrial age. Humanity needs the discourse of the information age. This trailer is for the real decision makers of world powers are useful. The same ones that raise the leaders of the world's superpowers of the world and bring them to power. Of course, we may not know many of them. The other audience of this clip is the thinkers, intellectuals and philosophers of the world. Ordinary people may not like it. Of course, they can take steps to get rid of their hellish life. They do not have to spend money or take risks. All they have to do is republish this trailer to let those powerful and anonymous people know. Part 1, Book of Philosophy of Man and Bliss. Part 2, Book of the Collapse of Civilization, People's Distrust of Governments Around the World. Part 3, Introduction Book of Doctrine and Pragmatic Executive Plan in accordance with the problems of the information age. In this section, you will see the story of providing an engineering solution to correct engineering defects in public places and public vehicles that has caused the rapid spread of the COVID-19 around the world. In the context of an imperfect democracy, it has been ignored by bureaucrats for a year. If those engineering defects are not corrected, countries around the world will be exposed to new respiratory viruses in the future. Despite these flaws, it is possible for evil people to create man-made viruses.
Late Most High, Mighty, illustrious Prince, Lip Duke of Edinburgh, Earl of Merrion, Baron Greenwich, Knight of the Most Noble Order of God, Knight of the Most Ancient, Most Noble Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victoria Order, upon whom can be conferred the Royal Victoria.
There was a strange commotion, various sounds. One asked what this voice is. Another said God. Another said the same is train, the sound of the train. In fact, it is the voice of tens of thousands of years of human experience. This voice says, whether we are kings or holy popes, we are all dying Q. If we are bad and unkind human beings, we will turn our short lives and those of people into hellish lives. We have no choice for kindness and love. Only kindness brings happiness and bliss.
Dear real leaders, as you know, there are about 200 holes in this train. The holes have the different number of wagons. You have to be kind to all the passengers of the wagons, not just with the saloon and the wagon and your friends and like-minded people and family.
You have empowered those who act like mafia bosses. They trick and dominate people of other wagons. They loot other wagons.
This is a smart train. Its intelligent systems automatically return your bad behavior to you.
This smart train will punish you, and your children, and your grandchildren, with mental and emotional illnesses and even autoimmune diseases.
It also punishes you and your country with natural disasters, such as climate change, coronavirus deaths, hurricanes, tsunamis, and more.
Every country that once suppressed misery returned to its government, country and people. It is the law of the intelligent universe. Unfortunately, a long time ago, by manipulating democracy, they created a monster in the form of the current imperfect democracy, which has made life hell for the people of the world. Now the monster is endangering the VIP group, their children and grandchildren, too. The monster created a paradigm. In this paradigm, the judiciary, the legislature, the executive, the parties, the media, the universities, etc. cannot function honestly. Honest people are either eliminated or surrendered. Gradually, incompetent people in most matters of society reach the decision-making position. For example, in managing the coronavirus epidemic, instead of managing the crisis, they showed their inability with create catastrophes. This monster, greed, domination, environmental destruction, war, deception, and develops bureaucratic dictatorship.
In the information age, politics and politicians are far behind. Their goals are in line with the agricultural age and are brutal.
Corruption by politicians and bureaucrats is spread to the lowest possible level in various countries. And it has corrupted the morality of societies at all levels. And it has endangered humanity with the danger of the collapse of civilization.
Yet, the International Day of Democracy takes place at a time when trust is low and anxiety is high. People are frustrated by growing inequalities and unsettled by sweeping changes from globalization and technology.
We are losing people.
Humanity is in transition. Humanity is reaching from the industrial age to the information age. Everything is strange and unfamiliar. Humanity does ask itself again. Spirituality. Happiness. To be. Why to be? Why to be? No matter what the system of government. Capitalist, communist, socialist or whatever. At all levels bureaucracy in all of the governments are outdated, Toffler says. Civilization of the information age cannot work with the political structure of the industrial age. The world is transitioning from the industrial age to the information age. But governments are trying to solve the problems of the information age with the old tools of the industrial age. Today, the world's protesters are taking to the streets. Their maximum demand is the removal of governments. Because people, like governments, have no solutions, doctrines, and strategies. People know that the collapse of governments does not solve the world's great problems. In the third part, we introduce a doctrine and grand strategy that solves the problems of the information age. If the people of the world understand our doctrine and our strategic plan, they will demand it. They will no longer demand the removal of governments. Eventually there will be no need to change governments. This is in the interest of both the people of the world and the true leaders of the world. In addition, many thinkers in the world have discovered the features of the information age. Often, they had admonition for shocked humanity and busy governments and wander our economic and political systems. Our team was very fortunate to be able to create such a doctrine and strategic plan. Certainly through our doctrine of perfect democracy, much easier to reach the Millennium Development Goals. This is the wisest doctrine to prevent will be the creation of techno-populism in the world. Governments use someone to match their knowledge to what governments want. So the problems of the countries will not solve. However, our doctrine and strategic plan will be very successful because people's collective knowledge is freely used. This strategic plan, like the mother, will give birth to thousands of strategic plans and solutions through the participation of the people. This will be a revolution in the governance system in the world. It is clear that 20 years ago this doctrine and strategic plan was by no means applicable. All the goals of this doctrine and strategic plan were possible by current state-of-the-art technology.
The reason for presenting this video is to inform about the danger of monster. The monster has disrupted the information path of democracy. Even about the solution of independent scientists to the coronavirus that has killed millions around the world.
The rapid spread of the coronavirus has revealed serious weaknesses in the engineering of public places and public vehicles. Some people may take advantage of these weaknesses, and some may make a hand-made respiratory virus in the future. Public places, such as doctors' offices, hospitals, airports, etc. Vehicles such as planes, trains and buses. Therefore, no matter how many new vaccines we make, so that we do not solve these engineering weaknesses in public places and public vehicles, all the people of the world are in danger.
With the help of our scientist friends, we came up with an engineering solution to this engineering flaw in the world.
Our solution was a combination of epidemiological and engineering studies to reduce the rate coronavirus spread.
We succeeded in creating an engineering theory and an engineering invention. We even built a prototype device that works well. If our solution were implemented, it would have prevented 2/3 of the world's population from catching corona. We tried for a year, but the monster did not allow that solution to reach the leaders of the industrialized countries.
However, solving this problem is the biggest national security challenge for any country. Employees of all governments did not check out our engineering solution.
They did not even read our emails.
They are unmotivated and uninterested in trying to find a solution. But at the same time, they work with motivation and interest to impose restrictions and pressure on people. The people make the world tired and angry by restrictions and quarantine. We realize that, as long as this monster exists, nothing can be done to solve the world's problems. Therefore, we thought that presenting the doctrine and executive programs, Perfect Democracy by Participation Digital, that we worked on for 7 years is more urgent.
Omicron's very emergence is another reminder that although many of
Now, after 2 years, everyone understands vaccination alone is not enough. But at the end of the clip, I must make it clear that nothing is more important than protecting the people of the world from current and future respiratory viruses. Even our doctrine and strategy. Because first we have to survive. Vaccination along with our theory, engineering correction in public places and public vehicles, can protect the people of the world.
The sea is like the smart train, it is like the universe, it gives us back all our behaviors, even our inflated corpses. One should always hope. The sea is ahead. Humanity is doing a mistake and neglected constantly. Humanity repeatedly builds walls and closes doors. But the magical system of the universe always opens new doors to humanity in utter despair. Our doctrine and strategic plan, like opening a magical door.